morning, everyone. It is very early in the morning because we are on passage down to the Bahamas. Thought it might be kind of fun to show you guys what 24 hours of passage life is like. So we're gonna get up, go relieve Amy, get on watch.
Hello there.
Oh, I can almost, there you are, kind of. Let's see if we can get a little more light going. Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh my god, it's bumpy.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. Camera can't even find you. Ouch. There you are.
One hand for the boat, one hand for yourself, babe.
Yeah, okay. Let me come up and sit down.
Okay.
Ooh. Alright.
Ugh.
Found Amy.
Hi.
What time is it right now?
2 a.m.
Yeah, it's pretty bloody early. So we're gonna go ahead and transfer our watch. Amy is definitely ready to go down to bed.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Alright, so quick update, kind of quick status, how are things looking?
Alright, things are pretty much the same as when you went downstairs. We've got winds around like apparent wind speed of like 18 to 20 most of the time. And our wind angle is 60, so we're not terribly tight, but we're there.
It's still bumpy,
It's
so.
bumpy.
Okay.
Course has shifted, so the winds have shifted a bit to come from the east a bit more.
Alright.
Which means we're pointing more south.
Got it.
So.
Okay, well, I think that's good for now. Why don't you go do a log and go to sleep? Love you.
Me too.
Now that Amy is down for her off-watch sleep, I like to do just a very quick inspection of the boat. Starting here at the helm, we'll just check the lines, look at the sails as best we can, in the middle of the night, of course. We're going to go down, check the batteries, and then make some caffeine and some tea. Sounds quite nice. Everything is looking okay, and not really gonna be able to see outside, are we? But the sails are out there, believe it or not, and everything is looking all right. So let's go down, check the batteries. One hand for the boat, so everything is moving. Alright. It's a good sign. Batteries are still working. We've got the hydro generator down right now, so it's doing really well while we've been zooming so fast. Let's see. Yeah. See, it's pumping out some amps. And start and genset batteries all looking good. So that is positive. Let's get some tea. Now that I've got some tea already, so I'm just kind of settling for the rest of the overnight watch. It's going to be a lot of scanning the horizon, watching all the numbers, making sure the wind's not getting too high, our course is still going the same way we want to go, listening for a bunch of strange noises. But I'm guessing y'all are getting a little tired of watching me in red night vision, so we're going to wait for daylight to film some more of the mundane, like logbook entries, all that kind of stuff. And also when it's daylight, it's a lot easier to go do full boat checks, all that fun kind of stuff. So, until daylight, cheers. One part of the day that I do absolutely just love, sunrise. And it is officially sunrise time. With the daylight, it is definitely apparent that it is quite a bit rougher out here. So I'm not going to go outside the enclosure protection to actually get a nice shot of the sunrise, but always do take advantage of having the early AM shift and at least watching it. Time has come for a 7 o'clock log. That's usually kind of when we start our day and technically end the day as well. So I'm gonna go down, we're gonna get that logbook out, gonna make a few entries. It is definitely getting rough out here. We're getting some pretty big waves splashing all around. So I'm gonna be holding on tight. Yeah, so down here at the nav desk, we keep a spare iPad so we can keep all the information and be able to watch everything from inside. And we'll go ahead and write up this logbook. Keep track of time, vessel position, 29 degrees, 37.526 minutes north, 071 degrees, 46.929 minutes west. Then we also just kind of do a rough estimate of our speed over ground over the last approximately 3 hours. That's how long we do our time for. So we've been basically doing between 6 and 9 knots. Speed over ground, course over ground, we are right now doing approximately 210 degrees. The apparent wind speed is now what we're checking for. It has been 18 to 24. It has been coming from, right now it is 77 degrees off our port side, and the ground log is currently at 986.9 nautical miles. I also do just a very quick little entry so we can look back and see if we can remember what happens. So definitely beautiful sunrise. Some big waves coming over the bow. Alright, with the logbook done, that means it is now time to go out and do kind of our check around the boat. Just make sure, now that it's light, we can see the sails, no chafe, no blocks are breaking. Everything always seems to happen at night, so I want to check things first thing in the morning to make sure the boat's still all okay. Yeah, we're getting some big waves rolling in almost directly from the side of us. So, in order to do this safely, we're going to go get the deck vest on and also turn us way downwind, so I'm not worried about getting rocked quite as hard from side to side. Now that we're all suited up, we're going to go ahead and get ourselves pointed further downwind. Right now, our apparent wind angle is upper 70s, so getting a lot of wave action side to side. I do not want that while we are out doing this. We're going to go ahead and bump ourselves down about another 40 degrees starboard. Hopefully that'll get the wind and the waves kind of aft of us a bit more and be a little more stable as we get out and go check things. It is pretty amazing just how much of a difference it makes just getting downwind. Be very cautious, it is still quite rolly this morning. Okay, so primarily what I'm looking for out here is here at the mast. We want to check the sails, no lines chafing, no blocks broken, all of those things. Everything looking okay. Sail is up. Okay. All the track cars still on the mast. Nothing looking amiss down the sail stack back. All these blocks over here. Check. Lines chafing. Looking up front. It looks a little bit to me like the line that we keep for the sheet on our screecher is getting a little bit loose with the wind and the waves kind of bashing at it so much. I'm gonna go up and retie that real quick. All right, well, we are out here. We're gonna go ahead and go down the port side deck as well. Yes, being very, very careful moving around. And I wanna double check all the blocks of the Traveler. Everything looks okay there. Come down. Looks like a wave kind of swept some of the rope to the hydro generator. And get that all cleaned up. But the hydro generator itself looks okay. No lines chafing. So, yeah, doing okay still, I think. Things are a little bit better cleaned up. Hydro generator still working. Dinghy's still up in the davits. I think we'll call that morning check complete. Those of you who might have followed us for a while, you may have picked up on the fact that I do love a really good spreadsheet. And of course, I've got one to kind of keep track of our speed over ground and all those calculations as we are on passage. Helpful also for an ETA for when we're going to arrive and all that fun stuff. So now that we have done the logbook, we have completed all our deck checks, we're back on course. I am now going to go down and fill out that spreadsheet. Well, from the last 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. 24-hour period, we did 177 nautical miles. 7.39 if you're wondering. I'm estimating we've got about 427 miles to go, so this spreadsheet can give me like an estimated ETA. I can plug in different speeds and kind of guess what time we're going to arrive with all that. If you're interested in kind of seeing a little bit more, I've pondered making a video about it, so leave a comment down below if you're interested to maybe have me clean it up, post it for everyone, go through it, etc. The other thing I do in this spreadsheet is I do keep track of our engine hours, our generator hours, solar output, and our hydro output, so I can kind of keep track of how many amps of charging we've used, how much fuel has been burned, all those sort of things. So I'm going to go around and get all those numbers now. Alright, spreadsheet has been updated. We did run the generator for a little while yesterday to top up the batteries and make some water. So that was a little over 3 hours that we ran that for. Doing that also means that when the batteries are topped up, the solar panels don't work a whole lot, so we didn't get a whole lot of solar output yesterday. But the hydro generator we ran all the time except for when the generator was running, and that output 239 amps yesterday. So that's almost 11.5 amps per hour if you don't include the hours the generator was running. So that's not bad, actually. The batteries kind of stayed at a pretty consistent state throughout the day once the hydro generator was kind of taking things back over. So that's good. We are making progress. Right now I'm estimating maybe 2 days, hopefully, before we're going to arrive into, I think, Georgetown is where we're going to go. And yeah, so as you can kind of tell, the mornings were busy for me, but all this stuff is now updated, and that means it's breakfast time, which is good, because I am very hungry. now might be an appropriate time to kind of go over what our watch schedule is like. Over the years, we've developed what we call a soft 7, and that's because there's only really one shift that has like rigid schedules, and that's my 7-hour sleep schedule from 7 p.m. until 2 a.m., which is when this video started. So that's the set in stone. Like, I go down to bed at 7, wake up at 2. When I come up, Amy goes down to sleep, and she sleeps for as long as she can. At the beginning of a passage, that might be a little short. You know, she might be up at like 7, 8 o'clock or something. The longer we get into it, kind of get a little more comfortable with the passage and stuff like that. Her record is, I think, like 12:30 that she's managed to sleep, and that's totally fine. Like, during the day, I'm awake, I have energy, like, it's not a problem. It's important for us to get long periods of uninterrupted sleep. So, once she wakes up, I go down, I'll take a nap again, and then when I come back up, depending on how Amy's feeling, if she's still tired, she'll go down, take a nap in the afternoon. If she's awake and feeling good a few days into the passage, then she might stay up with me. So it really kind of just depends on how we're feeling. And then we have dinner, and then 7 p.m. I go down to sleep. And it just kind of keeps going and going and going for as long as we're out of passage. But this watch schedule, like I said, it lets us get that uninterrupted sleep, and that's so important for us, at least. We tried the 3-hour, the 4-hour watch schedules, and I felt like a zombie. I just could not get enough sleep. It wasn't good for us. So this is a nice compromise. The first few days, they're a little tough to stay awake that long, overnight especially, but get used to it pretty quick, and it works out well for us. So there you go. A little insight into our watch keeping schedule. I think that's pretty much everything for the morning right now. Amy is still sleeping, so I'll likely do another log entry or two while she's down sleeping. And then when she gets up, we'll do a changeover, and I'll go nap. I thought I heard some movement down there.
You did. Can I come sit next to you?
Yes. Welcome back to the land of the living.
Apparently. Oh, look, there's more fish scales on the deck.
Yeah, it's a massacre out there.
There's a massacre out there. Alright.
Let's see here. So, this means that Amy is now up from her watch.
It is almost 10 o'clock.
Almost 10 o'clock. Pretty decent little sleep in there. Kind of. A bit rough to really do some deep sleeping.
Yep.
So, we've got winds are really blowing. Their true wind speed's around 24 knots and keeping it a little bit aft the beam, so our apparent wind speed is just enough for a single reef at the moment. Still got a single reef in.
Okay. You changed our track.
I did. So we were planning on trying to make it down to Inagua, but with the wind and the waves the way they are, executive decision was made. We're now going to head towards Georgetown.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh no! We'll have friends to celebrate Christmas with.
I know. So sorry. But yeah, other than that, we're headed towards the waypoint for Georgetown.
We are zooming.
We are sailing really fast.
10 knots through the wind. Through the water. That
Yeah.
word. That W word.
Not W. So we're doing all right, but the wind is definitely higher than forecasted. How about that? So.
Yeah.
All right. Now that you're awake, let's go get you some breakfast.
Yay!
We've got you some breakfast. Is there anything else that I can get for you?
$1 million.
Well, I'll work on that.
This is the kind of comedy you get when you're out in the middle of a passage.
Truly hilarious. So, okay, well it is 10 o'clock. I'll go down and do the log and then official shift change. Oh, Admiral's got to get the last word in. So, all right, logbook, and then I'm gonna go nap. I'm awake from my nap. I've sent Amy down for her afternoon nap already. We did a very quick changeover, but it is definitely choppier, windier, bouncier, all of the above than I was expecting today. Weather forecasts were showing some bigger waves, but also a longer period, and the waves are bigger. Period is not very long, and it certainly feels like a washing machine. So Amy's just not feeling very well. Perhaps not the best day I could have chosen to try to have you guys on watch with me, but we're committed now, so there's no leaving the boat, man. There's no leaving the boat. I'm gonna go down and make some lunch, but I think you're just gonna have to take my word for it, because just a little too bumpy to be filming a little bit of everything at the moment. So, lunchtime. There's a big squall rolling in towards us right now, so I'm back at the helm. We're keeping a very close eye on that. Concerned about apparent wind speed kicking up. We've got one reef in the sails still, so kind of watching apparent wind speed, managing our angle, making sure that stays within our requested guidelines for Fontaine Peugeot. And that's what's going to be our next challenge. That crisis has been averted. We're going to come on inside. See if we can get a little more light, and do some dishes. Take advantage of times in between the squalls to do a little bit of productive things. One thing that we haven't talked about yet that we definitely should, and that is email and weather. So right now we are using our Iridium Go, and Amy is primarily the one responsible for kind of checking and monitoring all our emails and responding and all that fun stuff. But I get to check the weather, and for that we're using Predict Wind. So it's pretty easy, straightforward, integrates in very well with the Iridium Go. I have just gotten a notice that there is a new weather forecast update for me, so I'm going to go ahead and download that. I'm not going to go into too much detail on how to use Predict Wind and stuff. There are other videos out there, and I'm contemplating kind of making my own for how we use it, specifically on Passage. So let me know if you guys are interested in that one as well. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and download weather and kind of see what we've got coming up for us for the next couple days or so. Weather is downloaded. Looks like it's going to be roughly about what it's been for the last 36 hours. We've got waves 2.5-ish meters, winds 15 to 20, coming, call it east-southeast. So, bumpy is what it's going to be, but we should hopefully, if these conditions kind of stay relatively the same they are, we keep our speed up, get into Georgetown in about 48 hours, which would be during daylight, and that's wonderful. So that is good. I think the next thing on my to-do list is going to be I'm going to cook dinner tonight, just because it's still a bit rough. Amy's still not feeling great, so that's going to be next on my to-do list. We are back to red light vision because it's dark out.
It's 6:45.
Yes,
It's been dark for well over an hour.
Yeah, good old winter time, I guess. But I have made dinner. How was it?
It was fine.
Not quite 5-star Michelin, I'm certainly well aware, but
I appreciate someone making food for me.
Like it when the bar is set low. How about that? So, all right, handover time?
Yes.
Okay. It's still blowing pretty darn good. We've got winds 18 to 22 pretty much. Mm-hmm. We're headed straight for the waypoint at Georgetown. So
yes.
Should be all good. Not anticipating the wind to increase overnight. So hopefully the sail setup should be good.
Okay. Hope so.
You'll wake me if any issues are...
I will wake you up if I need anything.
Okay. Alright, then with that, I've got a few minutes before I'm going to go do my log.
Chocolate?
Oh, I guess I got to do chocolate first, of course. Can't forget almost the most important part of the day. And then do my logbook, and then go down 7 p.m., 2 a.m., do it all over again. And that's Watch Life aboard Starry Horizons. It's been a really fun one, as you can tell. So, thank you guys for joining me on Watch. See you another day, another bay.